as well. 4 to 5. All right, and I don't have my phone. Yeah, I've put my smartphone on pause for a moment. So I haven't been using it. So it has created it's an interesting experience to not have your phone. Well, yeah, but it's something I really wanted to do. Just for this year, at least for kicking off the year. Well, awesome. Okay, good. So we're here. Hey, grand rising, beautiful people. Anybody who's joining us. Um, Happy New Year. All the best. I want to ensure that we have. Okay, I think I'm coming up on YouTube. Okay, good. And actually, the this is the music. Let me just cue up our motivational clip. So again, just as we kick off, always grateful to life, always grateful to God, our creator, always grateful to the ancestors for being present here with us and for giving us this opportunity just for us to be able to come together, to build together as a community, to share our knowledge, wisdom, and understandings. And I just intend that it be a blessing to each and every person who's participating. And I ask the words of our mouth be not of ourselves, but guided by the Spirit. Hotep, amen, ashe. So peace and blessings, everybody. Happy New Year according to the Gregorian calendar. So welcome and thanks for being here. So I am Pharaoh Hamid Freeman, founder and director of the One Full Circle OFC community, where we're dedicated to being a bridge between the community and working together with people who share our values and who see the importance of spending money together and empowering each other in order to build a solid economic foundation for our future generations. And me personally, I am a spiritual coach. So anybody who's looking for anybody who has questions concerning spirituality, connecting with themselves on a deeper level, I am here for that as well. So I am grateful to be here. Sister Megan, if you just want to give a quick intro on your side as well.
Yes, greetings everyone. I'm Marinette and I am founder of Niferian Wellness, and I give hair services and I do coaching for everyone that are interested in Kemetic spirituality, receiving health services or health coaching. And yeah, I'm here to, have a conversation on Kemetic subject and exchange with y'all. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Queen. All right, Brother Ibrahim, just want to introduce yourself.
Hello, family. Happy New Year again. My name is Ebon Idonije II. I'm the founder of AKK Connections. I'm the founder of Connections, Connecting with Oneself. Also, the co-founder of United Explorers Special Needs Program and a founder and board member of Montreal Autism Community Lions Club. I'm happy to be here. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. Okay, so today what people can expect. So we're gonna go through this as we do every week. The whole point is to have a conversation, and the topic we're going to be addressing today is the calendar, is the new year, is New Year's resolutions, but more importantly, we're also going to discuss a little bit more about the Kemetic calendar. We're going to plant the seed about that and have a conversation and the importance of that, because I think there's something to be said, and I can't remember if it was a conversation that we had or I was having another conversation with some other people, but it's important to understand that the powers that be, quote unquote, or I like to coin them the powers that were, because they understood our ancestral power and our connections to the whole, they made it a point to change things around so it would make it harder for us to remember who and what we are. And one of the things was the calendars and the times and the amount of days during the week, because then it throws off our cycles. So then instead of us following a particular almost intuitive, spiritual, almost logical calendar that connects us with the everything, we're kind of following more of a quote unquote man-made calendar. So we're gonna deep dive about that. We'll have a conversation about that and share our perspectives and it'd be awesome to hear from anybody who is joining us, their thoughts on the topic, but we'll do our part in terms of sharing what we know. And so that's the conversation we're going to dive in today. So as you guys know how we normally start off, we'll play just a quick little motivational clip and then a song. Now the clip I pulled together is it's a motivation. We'll play it. It is in celebrating of our year. It's like I like to do. Hold on, let me put it on. Give me a sec. I figure it's cool to be motivated.
This is your compass.
Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to speed it up a notch just so it fits within our time frame. All right. Let me share screen and audio, and we will be right back.
It's not about instant recognition, it's about long-term dominance. Purpose is your compass. Without purpose, sacrifice becomes meaningless. Without purpose, patience becomes frustration. Without purpose, pain becomes unbearable. You must define why you're doing this. What is it you want so badly that comfort is no longer an option? What dream is so big that you are willing to bleed for it? Once you have that why, the grind becomes bearable. Once you have that purpose, every sleepless night, every rejection, every obstacle turns into fuel. Once you have that mission, quitting is no longer a choice. It's betrayal to yourself. Sacrifice isn't just about working hard. It's about saying no to short-term pleasures for long-term gain. It's about walking away from distractions that don't serve your purpose. It's about choosing books over scrolling, action over excuses, and vision over comfort. While others party, you study. While others sleep, you practice. While others complain, you execute. Sacrifice is ugly in the moment, but it's beautiful in the long run. And here's the most powerful truth. The world will not notice your grind. People won't praise your early mornings, your discipline, or your struggle. The applause comes later, after you've transformed yourself and achieved what others thought impossible. That is why you must learn to grind in silence and shine in public. Let your results speak for you. Let your discipline become your loudest statement. Let your sacrifice become your ultimate advantage. Every setback you face in 2026 is not a failure, it's a lesson. Every rejection is not a stop sign, it's a redirection. Every obstacle is not a wall, it's a stepping stone. Sacrifice and patient resilience, they teach you endurance. They teach you how to persevere when no one is watching, when the world is indifferent, and when your body and mind are screaming to quit. The greatest victories are always preceded by the hardest battles. You want to be remembered in 2026 as someone who dominated. Then you must train like a warrior, work like a champion, and endure like a soldier. The glory, the success, and the recognition will follow, but only if you're willing to pay the price first. You cannot skip the grind. You cannot bypass the pain. You cannot rush the process. Each sacrifice you make today becomes the armor you wear tomorrow. Each patient step you take today builds the foundation of your unstoppable momentum. Each ounce of effort you invest now multiplies into results that will define your life. 2026 is the year to commit fully, to stop making excuses, to embrace pain, to practice patience, to pursue your purpose relentlessly. The grind is not glamorous, it is not easy, it is not instant, but it is the only path to true, lasting greatness. So when you feel tired, remember that fatigue is temporary, but regret lasts forever. When you feel frustrated, remember that struggle is your stepping stone to mastery. When you feel alone, remember that every successful person once walked the path you are walking, and they arrived because they never quit. Sacrifice now, shine later. That is the principle of winners. That is the principle of the relentless. That is the principle of 2026. If you commit to the grind, to the pain, and to the purpose, nothing can stop you. 2026 will not break you. It will make you. It will forge you into someone stronger, wiser, and hungrier than ever before. You will become the person capable of achieving the impossible because you endured the journey that nobody else would. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your grind will define your legacy. Sacrifice today, shine tomorrow. 2026 is yours if you're willing to pay the price. Fire sacrifice now, shine later. The grind is real, but the victory will be legendary. 2026 is not just another year. It is your chance to hit the reset button on your life, to shed old habits, old fears, and old limitations. If you want to truly dominate, you must become more than who you are today. You must reinvent yourself. You must rewrite your story. Because the world does not reward those who stay the same. The world rewards those who evolve, adapt, and refuse to be stopped by anything or anyone. Look around. The person you were yesterday cannot create the life you want tomorrow. The habits, mindset, and routines that got you here will not get you there. If you want extraordinary results in 2026, you must become an extraordinary version of yourself. This is not about luck. This is not about talent. This is about transformation. You cannot wait for opportunities to transform you. You must transform yourself first. The first step to becoming unstoppable is accepting that change is inevitable. Growth requires discomfort. Progress requires sacrifice. Success requires resilience. If you are unwilling to step outside your comfort zone, you will never tap into your full potential. You must push yourself past fear, past doubt, past limitations. You must challenge yourself daily to become stronger, faster, smarter, and hungrier than ever before. Reinvention starts with mindset. You cannot achieve new results with old thinking. You must adopt a mindset that is unshakable, relentless, and focused on possibilities rather than obstacles. When failure knocks at your door, and it will, you cannot crumble. When obstacles block your path, then they will. You cannot stop. Your mind must be your strongest weapon. You must believe that no setback is permanent, no challenge is insurmountable, and no goal is too big. Action is the bridge between mindset and reality. It is not enough to think differently. You must act differently. Every decision, every choice, every habit must align with the person you are becoming. 2026 is the year of deliberate, intentional action. Every morning you wake up, ask yourself, what can I do today that my future self will thank me for? The answer will shape your day, your month, your year, and ultimately your legacy. Becoming unstoppable also means refusing to be defined by your past. Your failures, mistakes, and regrets do not define you. Your actions moving forward do. You can rewrite your story at any moment. Every step you take toward discipline, focus, and growth is a new chapter in your life. Every time you push past doubt, every time you defy fear, every time you refuse to quit, you are rewriting your narrative from ordinary to extraordinary. Surround yourself with people who elevate you. Your circle is your mirror. If the people around you doubt, complain, or settle, their mindset will infect yours. To become unstoppable, you must seek out those who challenge you, inspire you, and push you beyond what you thought possible. The energy of your environment will either propel you forward or hold you back. Choose wisely. Discipline is non-negotiable. Talent alone is not enough. Passion alone is not enough. Discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire burning when motivation fades. It is the glue that holds your dreams together when the world doubts you.
All right. There's a little bit left, but I wanted to, hey, one, we got to respect our time, but two, the gist of what I wanted the motivation to come from has been shared. So I thank you guys for participating in that, and we'll talk a little bit about it. I hope there's some things in there that motivated and inspired you guys as we're listening. And now let's transition and just play a little some music just to raise the vibrations. Again,
every day you show up, every task you complete.
Chase, you are building an unstoppable version of yourself. You are crafting a person who will not be deterred by obstacles.
Okay, there we go. Share this one instead. All right. Oh. Oh, whoops. It's playing back on my side.
Dunia kono kolear kakele dunia sinyo seya bari bonya kano nenete bukala kano menguna story bebati nyanta ka dunia bunya ninabaluo ningakono indayo tumenu boya dayo masila lele dayo 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 yeah soyanem nin dunia te penti varia sembo sitignanore dunia tangra meje baruodira Gonzalo klabum kulu inkaba yetu ilapo indawo yobumwele kule mpilo eyonakele indayo tumenu boya dayo masila lele dayo tumenu boya dayo masila lele dayo tumenu boya dayo masila lele dayo tumenu boya dayo masila lele dayo
Hey, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. That was nice. The energy of that was yeah, very uplifting, and yeah, I'm looking forward for you explaining it. And so Brother Ibrahim, if you could just give the credit of that song, like who's the producer of the song, and what song is it?
Yeah,
And if you give
it was sung by Sona Jabote.
Mhm.
It was sung in Madinka, Madingo, a West African language spoken widely in Gambia, Senegal, Mali, and Guinea. So the song is by Sona Jabota, and that song it's a chant and a prayer of one of thanksgiving and reconnection and self-knowing. So what that song meant is Nna Dunia, my mother, in this world, you carried me in your womb. You taught me how to walk. You showed me the way of life. Everything I am, I owe to you. Mother, I will never forget you. Your love is greater than words. You are my foundation, the root of my being. In this world, you are my light, my guide through hardship, my strength and my peace. May your name live forever. May your spirit bless generations to come. So this is from a spiritual standpoint, which also comes from a motherhood of the earth. So it's a chant, and I wish brothers and sisters the same thing, and God bless.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. So quick, right before we dive in, is there any quick updates, information that you guys like to share? On the side of the OFC, I'm really excited as we're kicking off this new year, again, quote unquote new year. As we're kicking it off, we have a bunch of cool initiatives that we have going on, but one of the most important is the pre-pilot phase, where we're starting to bring together businesses, pulling them together by industry. So all the community businesses out there, if for this year you guys are looking to group up, tribe up, team up with other business owners to see how you guys could thrive, now is the time. I'm really excited for that. So just reach out to the OFC and we'll get you involved in the collaboration project. So that's what's going on this side. Sister Meganit, anything on your side? Oh, you're on mute, Kui.
Yes, sorry about that. Yes, about new things happening. I'm going on with the new way of working with people with Nefer and Wellness. So I'm giving new services, the coaching, the spiritual access to spiritual sessions with priests of West Africa, and new services that people will like. So if people are looking forward to, change their ways of taking care of their beauty, they can reach out, and I will give the informations after.
Amazing. Thank you, Queen. Brother Ibrahim, on your side?
Yeah, we are working towards February 16th, the Love Bowl. There's a lot of organization and lots of preparation that is needed to raise funds for our neurodiverse community here in Montreal, and also to have fun with families. So more information will come out as we go. We invite all our families and friends, OFC friends, to come and experience a fun night with us. More information on its way. Thanks.
Amazing, not a problem. And how was the biodome? Where you guys had that trip
It
last week?
was amazing. What happened with the biodome was we had about 10 neurodiverse young adults, and we had about 4 or 5 staffing. So the way we do it is we get to the YMYWHA, make sure everybody's packed, properly packed. It was a cold day, boots, jackets, bags, and we already called the biodome before mid preparations. Then we move. So it was more of integrating the young ones into the society. So we had to walk. You have to buy your metro ticket, how to buy your metro ticket, how to communicate. And the metro comes, how to stand, teaching the lines and how to sit, what to hold on to. When we arrived there, it was packed because January 2nd was as if every mom and dad brought their young ones after the holiday to the biodome. So because we did head count.
Okay.
When you're moving with the neurodiverse community within the city for safety,
Yeah.
head count is done more than 200 times.
Right, I
Because
can
as soon as
imagine.
you get in the metro, head count. Everybody line up, head count. Get in the
Yes.
metro, head count. In the biodome, it was dark when you go into the tropical forest. So
Of course.
it was dark so we had to head count, but successful. Everything went well. The young adult had fun. The parents were happy, and it was a great way to spend the Christmas break. It was a 2-week camp, and we ended it up with the biodome. So it was really good. It was
I
fun.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Well, I'm happy for what you guys are doing, and it is a
Thank you.
blessing, and it's amazing what you guys do. So again, so kudos, and if anybody out there who can support or encourage what you guys have going on, I strongly recommend that they connect with you. It's just
Thank-
amazing what you guys are doing. So thank you for that. And just a reminder, anybody out there who's hearing what we're doing and like to support and encourage the OFC and the efforts that we're making, you guys are always welcome to either become a member of the OFC community, or you could contribute to supporting in what we're doing by sending an email transfer to finance@ofccommunity.com. So, all right, guys. So this is our session, another House of OFC session. As you guys know, this is the first non-denominational church of positive thinking. And the topic we're addressing today is, well, it is let's call it the quote unquote New Year. So we say the quote unquote New Year because it's the New Year according to Gregorian calendar. But as we know, there's many different calendars on this planet, and that itself should be a telling sign. There's a Chinese calendar, there's a Gregorian calendar, there's Kemetic calendars. I'm a strong believer that when there's a truth, there should be only really be like that. Well, no, I know there's multiple truths, so to speak, but there is a certain foundational thing that everything is built off of. And ideally, while we're here and we're discussing and we're dialoguing together, it'd be awesome to try to get to the root of what is that original calendar, what was everything derived from. But in addition to discussing the calendars, it's also understanding the rituals. It's also understanding the times that we're in, the cycles in life that we're going through. I'm going to try to find the details, but I was recently told, I think I spoke about it on one of our previous radio shows, that technically we are in a beginning of a new cycle. And I don't know if you guys have heard anything like that, that this is a beginning of a new cycle. So it's like,
I heard it's
yeah,
a 9 going back to the 1, something like that. Everything comes
something
back
like
anew.
that, exactly.
Yeah,
Like so,
yeah.
so last year it was almost like the end, and it's why we saw there was a lot of destruction. We're still kind of dealing with a lot of destruction, unfortunately, but that's normal in a cycle change, because it's almost like there's almost like some chaos or some destruction that creates space for rebirth and this new beginning. But so in essence, we are going into that. We're going into a new realm. We're going into a new time, and so that's what we're here to discuss. So I guess I want to start with you guys, like your perspectives when it comes to the calendar. What information did you guys have on the calendar? Like what your thoughts are and what your beliefs on the particular calendars. And then we could go into our resolutions and different things like that. But yeah, so Sister Meganith, I guess I'll start with you because you have an angle from a more Kemetic calendar. So you could go ahead.
Yes, yes, yes. So everybody's talking about the new year. Um, what I can say is, to start with, we have to make the difference between beliefs and actual truth, actual facts. That is causing a big problem, and again, it started, from a long time ago, like hundreds, thousands of years ago.
Mhm.
So when we want to look for something like the truth, we have to look for something that is tangible, something that we can verify in nature. And that's what our ancestors took the time to do. And that's how they built the Kemetic calendar. They took the time and of observation, years after years, thousands of years of after thousands of years, and then they understood what was. So so that is the big difference that I found, when I took the time and listen and took the learning from the Kemetic knowledge. Um,
Can I ask you a quick question
I
about that?
understand that it's something that is based on nature, that can prove itself, and beliefs, and beliefs that are existing around us, that we
Mhm.
hear, like, I believe this, I believe that, and then there's actually looking for the truth. That's troubling. That is causing a problem, I think.
Well, yeah, well, because even as you're saying that, and just to understand, because when we talk about nature giving signs, for me, when I think nature giving signs, oh, we have one of our members who wants to join us. So when I talk about nature giving signs, I think about the seasons. And I'm wondering the correlation between the calendar, the seasons, us as a human species. Hey, peace, Sister Taja. So we have one of our OFC members joining us. Peace, 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 blessings, Queen. Thank you for
Yeah, how
being
you
with us.
doing?
All right, cool. So we're talking about the calendar, we're talking about cycles. So welcome, thank you for joining us. Yeah, so when we think about nature presenting the actual truth, how do we follow that? Like, because if we are going with nature cycles, um, then would the Gregorian calendar make sense? Because the Gregorian calendar still kind of follows a seasonal thing. Because again, but we know that the powers that were, they understand how to take some truth out of stuff so that there's a little bit of a remnants of what was. But again, for somebody out there who's listening and they're trying to figure out what is the best way to be as grounded as possible and to be as spiritual as possible, and balancing the two, how do we follow nature as a guide, understanding the times?
Mhm. Mm, Well,
That's
that's the question. That's one of the questions that we should ask
hmm
ourselves. How do we follow nature?
hmm
And for the biggest part, nature doesn't give you much choice.
hmm
I mean, I give my hat to the people who really try to go against the nature to control, to force a reality.
hmm
And that's what I think the Gregorian calendar is.
mm,
That's what I understand.
okay.
I understand that they want to put time in a box that fits whatever desire that they had, or to control
hmm
and or limit people's time, a group of people, or
hmm
now it's worldwide.
Right, yeah.
But it doesn't have any basis in nature.
Okay.
It
All
doesn't.
right. Very, very good point. So, Brother Ibrahim, I'll let you chime in, and then Sister Taj, if you want to introduce yourself, and if you and you're welcome to join in. You're welcome to listen. If you have something you want to share, you're welcome to do so. It'd be awesome to have your input.
Thank you very much. Uh, most of the answers, you see, the answer, a person who, the answer we seek is not outside of ourselves. The answer we seek is within ourselves. This is my stand. The answer. So my spirit is my calendar. See, I know the Gregorian calendar. I know all the calendars made by man out there. And to get to know nature, I must be in tune with my own spirit. There's no end to being in tune with spirit. Growth is not finite. So that's one thing. So what I would say to that is the spirit, to be spiritual initially, is to learn how to be vulnerable, because you cannot control the spirit. You cannot force the spirit. You cannot be in charge of the spirit. You have to learn what it means to be spiritual. And from a spiritual standpoint, psychologically, you have to learn the ways to look within. So mentally reverse psychology, to project, to look at within yourself. So the answers, when a person, as you grow within yourself in spirit, the voice, you realize that what's going on inside is actually what's going on, the real calendar of what's going on within the Mother Earth spirit. So this is what it is. The answer is within. The more you connect with yourself, what you're supposed to do, your calendar. So, for example, we have the calendars we do every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to Sunday. Okay. When you begin spirituality over long term, it's not something that happens overnight. It's a lifelong journey. As far as we have life, it always upgrades. So when you start to get in tune with your own spirit, then you design your own calendar. So, for example, it's Monday, and on Monday morning, I rise up in the morning, and this is what I do in the morning. For this week, this is the message that I got this week. And for this week, I shall do this. I shall rise up. I shall go out with the kids, or I shall do this with the kids. And I'll do so. If you come chart your own calendar, and initially it's difficult. And the more you chart your own calendar and become solid in your calendar, you change the dynamics. You become more peaceful, happy, successful, and all of it. All these things come to pass. So it's I'll leave our dear family with it. It's ups and downs, societies and towns. You drift into yourself. You stay with yourself for a while, and then get to know yourself and resurface into life with a new fire, holding with a smile, So like, do you know to know who you are? So life is, the blueprint to life is the spirit that lives within. So when you get to know in that spirit, you have mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and all you need to know. And the idea is to learn how to love and how to trust that spirit, like literally submit to the spirit. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter if you're broke. Doesn't matter if you don't have anything. In fact, happiness is supposed to be it's not dependent on anything.
Mm-mm.
The life of a child is not based on money. So if it is very difficult to take the concept of legal tender out of the head, first of all. That is the most difficult thing. That's the programming that our sister is talking about. It is very difficult to take out. In order for us as a community to love ourselves, we must take out the idea of legal tender. It doesn't mean it's not important, but take it out. For me to be able to love you, I must know how to love myself. So what we see in our community, you say, you have to, with all your heart, you have to love God, and then love your neighbor as yourself. Mm-hmm. So it is the love that we have for ourselves that we are seeing in our community. That's our level of consciousness. So the more individual people begin to understand what it means to love the spirit, and that is the way they will be able to love their brothers and their sisters and love them. So that's what it is. So the more my spirit is my calendar to the universe. So I will keep loving my spirit and sharing that with my brother, learning how to share that with my brothers, our sisters, and our children. That's what I have to say to that.
Hey, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that insight, my brother. So, Queen Tasha, thank you for joining us. So before you dive in, I would like to give an opportunity just to introduce yourself, let people know a little bit about you and your background, and then you could join, share in the conversation.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thank you so much for letting me come up on the stage with y'all. I'm all excited. I was so pissed that I lost my connection last week because you were on my plane, okay? I was flying with y'all, and then it was like, yeah, so you're just gonna have to land for a moment, but next week here I am. So
yes, good. Thank you.
I appreciate that so much. So I mean, gosh, I've known you for so many years, and OFC has been such a huge part of my life, just allowing me to be able to grow and just take leaps in my life that there wasn't much opportunity to be able to do that. I remember you giving me that little back office so I can have my conversations and share my mindset. And so, you've really helped me to keep a door open. So I want you to know that you've been a great part of this journey.
I'm happy to hear it. Thank you, Queen. That's love. That's love. That's love.
So I am Tasha Love Oracle. People most of the time think that I'm talking about love, relationships, but love is the only thing that gets us through everything and anything. You understand? Without love, we have nothing. Your breath literally counts for nothing without it. And so for me, it's to be able to lift the veils of who you are within your life and within yourself so that you can get that reconnection back into who you are. Because we're here as spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. And I think we've lost that along the way. So, somewhat diving into the topic when we speak about the calendar, I agree with both sides because we have the physical calendar that we deal with, the Monday, Tuesday, whatever. We have the Chinese calendar. We have all these different beats. Then we have the earth, the earth itself, that mother giving us our own calendar. Then, with the brother, he speaks about the self and that calendar. And all of them are very relative. Every single one of them count. Here's why they count. Because they exist. Because they exist, we've given power to it. Once we've given power to it, it now has an energy that will expand itself. And so before we were in tune with ourselves. We knew ourselves as spiritual beings. We had full, clear understanding of who we were. That's why we lived as long as we did. We didn't have this dying element in our 30s and our 40s. They were living till hundreds of years old, right? So as we allowed ourselves to disconnect from ourselves and start looking at ourselves kind of like in that Garden of Eden energy, where Eve and them start seeing themselves naked, from the moment you start to see yourself disconnected from anything, and I mean, when I say from the cup, from the mouse, when you see yourself disconnected from anything, you allow yourself to focus on this linear time. But when you allow yourself to be connected with everything, this cup that's sitting in front of you is telling you a story. The color of it, the metal of it, everything was used to create this thing from the earth. So there's a timing even in this cup. We made it metal. So now this thing is timeless. So me drinking from this thing gives a timeless energy, right? Now, it's a plastic cover. This plastic right here, it's going to stay on the planet forever. But this cap isn't going to last forever. This is going to fall apart. It's going to break. This is man-made. You understand? This is earth-made. The elements were drawn out the earth while man manipulated to make this. So we follow a broken thing. That's why we even made a calendar, because we needed to follow this broken energy. But when we get back in tune with the full element of ourselves and with this earth, then you'll start seeing that the winter is your time to renew, because that's what the earth says it's going to do, right? You have the spring, which is going to bring forth new life, because that's what the earth says that it's going to do. You have the summer, that you're now in that flow, you're moving, you're shaking, you're burning up everything, you're in a state of movement. Then we come back to autumn, where everything starts to fall down. So most of the time when we get into the autumn aspect, everyone starts to panic, because that's when all the stuff has to restart itself. Now we come into a September, which seven in French, sept is 7 in French, not 9, right? But then look at the play on that. 7 means that you're going in the right direction, while 9 means that you're completing a cycle. So they both count.
Wow.
So every single thing that is here on this earth, every calendar, every beat, it all counts. What we have to understand is that we as spiritual beings are just giving each other new ways and other ways to be able to deal with this human existence. And when we pull ourselves away from this human aspect, then we understand that we are literally one with everything. You are, when they say omnipresent, you're omnipresent. If I'm sitting down here right now in my house thinking about you, Pharaoh, all the way where you're at, you're going to start thinking about me. You're going to start having a vision of me, a feeling of me. Something is going to kick that says, ooh, Taja. And so we have to understand that our connection and our timing is so much more than what we've given it, because we're still trying to fit spirit into a box, while our human flesh is trying to expand itself fully again so that we can understand that full connection. Time doesn't count in any phase of it, because we are eternal beings. So from the time of your essence, from the time of creation to the time of now, you've existed, because it took your grandparents, your grandparents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. Look how much things it took just for you to be here in this moment. Time is not what we're supposed to be focused on. What we're supposed to be focused on is what we're going to do in this now. Because when we're dealing with that, then we don't have a yesterday and we don't have a tomorrow that we're playing with. We have a now, and that's the only thing that counts. So thank you very much for sharing that.
Hey, that
I
was
was like,
heavy. Yeah,
there's so
I
much coming
love
out.
it.
I was like, and stop.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Queen. Yes, brother Ibrahim, you can
Yeah,
chime in.
I have something to add to that. That was great, fantastic. That was great. See, yeah, all calendars as it is minus. Yes, but what do we want? because we cannot find ourselves in his story if we don't own our story. The only way to find myself in his story is to own my own story. The calendars that we look at, because for me personally, what I meant by the self spirit and the blueprint is the creation of our calendar as a person. You know, it does fit into 9 to 5. It does fit into Mondays to Friday. But what do we want to create? Like the sister mentioned, we follow somebody else. We want to eventually create our own way of living. Because if you look like, you know, from Africa and from being Black people, we've left our ways to follow something else when we're trying to go back to our ways. And our ways is the spirit way. So to create our own calendar is to go back to our spirit and talking about now. What do we need now? What is missing in our community that the world needs? We are people of love. We have forgotten how to love each other for now. And love is not just the word love. Love is understanding. Love is wise. Love is compassionate. Love is empathetic. And all these are traits and virtues that we take time for us to heal. It is not now. It's our foundation that has been taken from us psychologically. Mm-hmm. And that is what we need to fix now. To fix that, we need to go back to our spirit. I understand finance. I understand business. I understand banks. I understand cryptocurrency. I understand all those things. But what we don't have is the foundation. So it's time to go back to foundation, the foundation of love. Because the sister said, when I think about Pharaoh and it transmits to where Pharaoh is, yes, that is true. But however, if your cell phone is not connected to the network, you will not get that message. You won't get that message because that means everybody needs to understand that we are part of a network and put that network into prayers, however ways they do it, and understand that's the greater network that we don't have. One that I can think in my head and literally, and it's happened many times. You think about somebody with love, you can send love to somebody in Africa, send to Haiti, and if that person in Haiti is also in tune with himself or herself, they will pick it up and they will respond to you. That is being ahead.
You don't have to be in tune though, brother. I want you to know something because this is what I do for a living. You don't have to be in tune. We are already in tune. We're not getting back to a place.
You see what I'm saying is this. If you send your message to me and I am not somebody who is one with my own mind, the message will come, but it will be like any other message. It will, because the way the mind is a whisperer. The mind whispers, and the person who's not listening will take it like it's just just regular. But the person who's listening will understand who sent the message and where it's coming from.
And sorry for cutting you. I think where it is the middle is the message is going to come out because using that same example Tasha just gave. So Tasha could be thinking about me saying something, and it will come in my spirit. If I'm dialed in, so to speak, I'm going to get that vibe and reach out to Tasha, be like, "Hey, what's going on, Queen? I feel like there's something." If I'm not dialed in, I'll still get the thought. I'll still be like, "There's a vibe with Tasha, but I won't react."
You think you're the one thinking it? Let's make it simpler. Mm-hmm. I have a laptop, and you have a laptop. You send me a message with your laptop in English, but I cannot read English.
But you still got the message.
But I got the message, but I cannot read it.
Here's the thing. The thing with that. Just so I clarify what I'm explaining to both of you.
Yeah.
That message is coming through anyway, whether you're understanding or not. You are having the conversation with the person. Understand that when a thought comes into your mind, if I'm saying, wow, I want to call Pharaoh today, that message is going to come in, hey, you know what, I'm thinking about Tasha, but we're still having a conversation. That's why when you might see somebody and you don't understand why you have this negative feeling towards them, but you love this person, that person was having a negative conversation with you and you picked it up. Mm-hmm. So your vibration is always going to connect with it. Now, the understanding is where the confusion is coming in, whether you understand that you had that connection or not. But because I explain this to people all day, it's something that I know that if I sit down and I talk crap about you in my head, you're going to have a feeling about it. You're going to have that conversation, that argument. You're going to have it. People do it all day. What they don't understand is that they're literally having it in that actual physical moment, and both sides picked up their feelings now. And so you're moving in it and you're bracing yourself in it, but you just may not understand why you're doing it. And when you understand that this is happening in real time, you'll be very careful with how you think and how you speak and what you put out there, because you'll realize that that person is picking it up right away. I've done
Mm.
So,
experiments where
yeah.
me and you were standing here and I'm looking at you across the street and we're like, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. And for sure, you're gonna trip, lose your balance some way, because we have now put that energy towards you. And
Mm.
we do that consciously and unconsciously.
So, okay, Brother Iban, you could go, but then Sister
Mhm.
Marinette has something she'd like to
Okay.
add as well.
Oh, should I go or should she go? I don't know.
Okay, well, Sister Marinette, you want to go, and then Brother Ibrahim, you go after? Because
Yes.
Marinette hasn't said something in a minute.
Yes, I wanted to say, because I'm hearing you guys talking about networks and spiritual connections, and we have to know that the calendars we're talking about, they are not all of them are taking charge of those different periods that we have in our lives. Okay, so the calendar is something that is okay for the definition that I have of a calendar is something that is able to help you manage time and space, physically, spiritually, and different realms at the same time. Okay, so we have to understand that we are inside a network. Outside of the network, there are things that are still going on, but those things that are going on outside of that network, when I'm talking about network, my definition of the network is outside of Earth. Okay, inside of Earth, everything is going on, all those connections, the spiritual and physical connections, they are still going on. But outside of Earth, there's also things going on that influences us as a human being. And that's what the ancestors understood.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
That creates different moments that we have to make sure that we're aware of. This is where the Occidental, way of living, they went to something they call l'astrologie.
Yeah, astrology. Yeah.
Okay, they say, oh, okay, today is this time. We have to be careful of the way we think. We have to be aware of the connections we're going to be able to make. We have to be aware of our energies. It's going to be more negative. It's going to shift to this and that and this and that. This is where they took it from. Okay, it's not perfect because they started mixing everything, and but it's modern way of gestion du temps, the planets and everything outside of the network we're talking about inside Earth. So all of that is linked, but we have to see the difference between the way things are done today and the way our ancestors used to master it. That's what I was talking about. The way they mastered it, we don't know about that, and that's a big influence for us today, not knowing how they mastered it. They could talk to each other like we were talking about comment on appelle
Telepathy.
ça?
Telepathy.
Telepathy, yes, telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
They mastered it because they knew which time was right to do that. Sometimes it's more influential, and some other time maybe you're gonna be able to connect because you have that type of energy.
So, thank you for that, sister.
You were born in that time. So this
Oh, no,
Yeah.
sorry, continue. Sorry,
yeah,
it froze.
that's all.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to say. This is why I asked the question about, actual, facts, reality, and make the difference with reality and beliefs.
So
Yeah.
I'll chime in. So just recently, I was led to go on a 3-day fast, 3-day water fast. So I did that. It's my second time doing that. And I did the 3-day water fast. And in that transition, I was also, or I should say, yeah, like kind of right at the beginning of that trend of that experience, I was also advised to take a pause from my smartphone. So now I'm literally in a process right now where since I've gotten that word, I just put my smartphone down, not planned or prepped. And first of all, realizing how hard it is to operate without a smartphone, like the system really has us, but I'm glad for the experience because like anything that my spirit leads me to do, I do it. I almost want to say blindly because like my physical doesn't fully understand, but my spiritual is in more control than my physical. So I just go according to what my spirit is telling me to do. So I'm doing it. I'm glad for the experience because I'm realizing one, our crazy dependence on it and how that has to change for us to be able to move forward as human beings. But at the same time, I'm realizing that without the dependence, so to speak, on the smart device, I'm suddenly kicking back into my intuition and I'm kicking back into my telepathy. I'm kicking back into like where, for example, I got so used to using GPS even to go to my own house. that now I because I just now like just put the phone down, like I'm real like intuitively I'm taking different routes, I'm avoiding traffic, and I'm just doing things. But again, it's a more natural way of doing things, and I think for what we're talking about, there's going to be somewhat of a conscious shift where I feel a lot of us are going to have to start getting accustomed to unplugging a little bit from the system because the system, what they're trying to do is hijack our consciousness. So instead of allowing us to grow and grow consciously and spiritually and evolve, they're saying, you know what, don't bother evolve as a being, we'll just do it for you. So instead of you tapping into your telepathy, tapping into your third eye, tapping into your your non-physical strengths, we'll just do it for you so you don't have to exercise that muscle, right? But I'm feeling, I'm just talking off of vibe, but like there's something to that. I feel like for us to really get back to our true understanding, we have to stop relying so much on the tools that the powers that be are giving us to help to make our lives easier, so to speak. Because while they're in the process of making, they're telling us they're making our lives easier, they're actually controlling our evolution and our experience.
Yes, I'm sorry, I gotta chime in right there because you gotta be like bubbling in my spirit. Google, Alexa, Siri, all of them, AI. And here's the thing: everyone's giving it their power. This thing isn't smart. You're making it smart. You're giving it all of your power. And this generation, this baby generation here who is like completely absorbed and freaking out and having tantrums and like fighting their parents for these things. I love when I hear people say, oh, social media is controlling our children and these things are controlling us. They're not controlling us. We are giving it control because we are no longer allowing ourselves to listen to ourselves. And you are right. The more you allow yourself to step away from the tool that they've given you to distract you. Because you remember, they've been distracting you long before this phone came along. They give it to you in your food. They give you in your toothpaste. Like, there's a lot of things that have gone along with keeping you distracted. It's in your music. It's in your movies. It's a lot. Billboards. It's everywhere you go to keep you distracted from yourself. So when you take any moment to unplug yourself and just start to listen to yourself again, that's why yoga and meditation and all these things are, so prevalent, and people, it's still being pushed at you so strongly because it gives you a chance to sit in silence and get into your quietude, not being bored. Because I never understood that word, that one word, bored, has destroyed so many people's mindset because they're looking for something to keep them just in a moment of distraction. But there's no such thing as boredom. When you are in that state of quietude, that's when you get to talk to yourself. That's when your spirit can have this loud conversation with you. And so there's words and things that we need to break. And this is where we have to go back to generations. So like my grandnephew, he's only 4 years old. Whenever he said, "Mommy, I'm bored," I'm like, "Boy, you boring. Go sit down and take a moment with yourself. Find something to do with yourself." But you are not going to use that word. Even when his parents are like, "Oh, baby, you bored," stop saying that to him.
Mhm.
Do not use those words with him because you are cursing him. You are actually taking him away from his own spiritual essence by giving him reasons why quietude is a problem.
Mm.
So generationally, we've fed this somewhat poison to each other, while our ancestors have worked diligently to keep us awake. We also have ancestors who've worked diligently to keep us asleep. So we have to understand that the ancestral plane isn't always somewhat working on our benefit. So when we talk about our ancestors, we need to be very mindful that yes, we had our people that they were connecting with the stars, but then you had those ones that were taking the stars, manipulating it and using it against others. So we have to move from what we understand in our now. And if we can listen to ourselves in our now, we won't get confused by anybody else's stuff. We'll just deal with the journey that we came to deal with, which was our linear one in this collective.
Wait. Yes, brother, you're behind.
Yes, from where I come from, when people send messages like negative messages using the moon or using the wind, the person who is conscious, we catch it and we send it back directly.
Yes.
Back to sender. That's how
That's
we do it.
correct. That's
Yes,
correct.
that's how we do it. So to add to what we're talking about, this is not meant. What we're talking about is not meant for everybody, because in a community we have the elders who are the wise men and women. They are handpicked, and not everybody should just. We have doctors, lawyers in a regular community, doctors, lawyers, and different skill set. But when it comes to spirituality and stuff in a community, there are people who are chosen to be the wise ones and understand, to be the circle of wise ones. So these people kind of direct, and these people must learn to understand that they themselves, they don't know it all. So it's only when they come together as people from different perspectives, they're able to put the pieces of puzzles together. So this is something that we don't have in our Black community. We have it, but we're not working together towards understanding that we are all for the same purpose, to be the elders. We don't have elders in our community. So common sense, the way I look at life, common sense is no longer common. It's become very, very pricey, common sense. And if you look at the system that we live in, the system itself gets its bearing, gets all the system, go to work, come back, go to work. It gets all its resources from the earth. And the earth herself, by beauty, she's in harmony with everything else. Like there's nothing that goes wrong in the real, I call it the divine infinite operating system. Like that's the divine infinite operating system. She's in harmony, he, same thing, in harmony with herself. And the only thing that is missing in this equation is the mind of human. That's inhuman. That's the only thing that is missing. And the Mother Earth seeks the mind of us to realign ourselves, which is not an easy journey. The journey of 1,000 years cannot be done overnight. It seeks the mind of the children to remember who they are. So no matter how it is, the point where I stand is we must understand that it is the mind, mental investment of nations' development, that is the target. And it's the mind that we must reclaim. Your mind, you reclaim your land. I reclaim my mind, you reclaim your mind. It's a lot of work. Like then we can really build from that understanding. So this is everything we're saying is all right. It's all perfect. But the system is docked like the app on an operating system. The system is docked on Mother Earth. And they use programs to confuse the children and lose children's mind, because the children must go back to Mother Earth, and which is their spirit. We need to have elders who come together like we are right now to understand that a building has many sides. One side cannot say they know it all. But if all the building come together, then you have a 360-degree view of what's happening. So we need security, we need all these things in our life, and peace and blessings.
Hey, then we'll have a 360 view. So I have something quick to add, and then Satasha, I saw you put up your hand, so I'll let you chime in as well if you have something you want to add. I had a spiritual session with one of our guides, and one of the things that was channeled in that session was that the world that we as more conscious beings are expecting to see, like this let's call it our promised land, or the next phase. It already exists. And what Brother Ibrahim was just saying is just it goes directly in line with that, because all it takes is our understanding that it's already here. It's because the only reason we're not experiencing it is because we're not letting ourselves see it. We're only seeing what the system keeps feeding us and telling us that this is your reality. But if we're able to ignore that and understand that actually we're already in a new day, we're already empowered, we are already like the life that we're creating is now, right now, it's here. And that is enough. And enough of us with that consciousness will impact and open everybody's eyes to the reality of what is, right? But it's something that I think it's just what we're doing right now. I don't think it's a fluke. There's no coincidence in life. We're doing our part in this game and planting these seeds and waking people up in that sense. So I want to just add that 2 cents in there.
That's true. And if I may add to what you just said, see, when we're working on ourselves, this is what we're doing right now. It helps because I'm learning from everybody and I'm growing myself, and I'll share that message when I go out. Next time when I speak outside, I'll be more enriched with different words to impact my community. See, smartphones and all these things, when consciousness goes behind AI, when divine intelligence takes hold of AI itself, it rewrites AI. It means that when a person or man or woman who is consciously filled, a house that is occupied, when you pick up a phone, I design with my AI or my chat GPT or my Dreamweaver or something. What I'm putting in there is consciousness. So it's AI, artificial intelligence, for people who don't have their mind yet. It can be like the other way around. It can direct and confuse people. But for children whose foundation have been set from the get-go and their consciousness, their cup is filled with the spirit of love, all they can create, doesn't matter what, use it to expand, amplify, is love. So you see, there are many ways. I don't think that now we're talking through the phone right now. But the messages we are sending through the phone, they are conscious messages. They are designed to empower growth and stuff. And most people will not like that system-wise. You know what I mean? So it is good now, like, it's good that we, this generation, what we can do for our next generation is to leave good footprints on the sands of time, a guiding path that they can lead on with memories, with actually writing books and memorandum from each person to say what you can give to your next generation is your thoughts and where you come from and who you are, pass on to your child, that they may read before you give them housing and give them all this wealth. You give them knowledge, what you have gained. Like, we pass it, our generation passed this huge Bible of what we have. Everybody, and we pass it on to the next. We start training our children, those who are going to take our place before we even leave at this particular point in time, because it's a generational thing. So this is what we have to be doing. Talking about spirituality is fantastic, but spirit needs a body. And the body to function in the society. So we need to start documenting, writing, archiving what we are doing, like, in terms of library for our children, and pass on knowledge to our kids so that they, in turn, we don't have to go through what we are going through right now. So
thank you, man. Sister Tasha, you chime in?
Yeah, and be those living examples of it. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Kids do not do what we say, because if they did what we say, this world would be great. But they do what we do. And when we start to become the living examples of it, this is what makes a difference. It's something that my mother told me when I was raising my daughter, and I would get frustrated. She said, just keep talking. We are still speaking and preaching from what our ancestors said, right? And we're still dealing with the cycle of it today. And so the key here And I think the biggest thing for us to do as a community is keep talking. Here's the thing, in that voice, though, know that the persecution will come.
Yeah.
Are you going to get attacked? Hell yeah. They're going to come at your money. They're going to come at your life, your character. They're going to try to do things to belittle you, to see, what you're worth. And this is, where the monetary value of a human being comes in. What do you value yourself as? You understand? I know me personally because I've been doing this for a minute now in the sense of speaking. You understand, Ferry? I've been banned from every social media there has been to be banned from. If I put in my name on Clubhouse right now, it just instantly wipes out the account. Instantly. Instantly, okay? So I've had from TikTok to Instagram, all of them. YouTube right now, I've had my YouTube account for 8 years and I can't get over 300 subscribers.
Mm.
So when you are speaking the truth, know that you're not going to get the views. You're not going to get the recognition and you're not going to get those things. So if you're thinking that you're spreading this truth and you're going to be able to really get it out there to the whole entire world, even with social media, you could forget about it. You understand? You have to make sure you hold your
Yeah.
ground and
I,
keep going.
I'm going to add to what you're saying. Before we began this is the same conversation that Brother Pharaoh and myself we had. I told him, this stuff that we're going to go into right now, because this stuff, so it's exactly what you're saying. So now it's you see, an enlightened leader or enlightened leaders require enlightened followers.
Yes.
Because the what we're doing is great to protect the vision. So yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying because this is really going deep into the core of the program.
It's funny because it even touches on the video that we played this morning, just as a little motivation. It spoke about the endurance you have to have, you have to understand that you're in this time and you got to push. You got to really you got to push past the challenges. You have to understand that they're going to come. It's but it's how do you act when these challenges come, when these adversity comes, and honestly. Just understanding that we came for this. We came to the planet in this time. We knew before we incarnated that we were coming into some of the hardest times in transition in history. And we're sign me up. It's
I want to add something.
We agreed to this mess. I just want y'all to know we agreed, which is I got pissed off one day when they was like, well, you chose to be here. What do you mean? You mean I chose this?
Yes.
I didn't. What was I thinking?
Yeah. You got it. And this is what's fun. This is what's fun about this life.
But
this.
The more I see that I chose it and I accept that I chose being here, is the more I understand why I chose it. You understand? I can now take off all those barriers of, because when I was a kid, it's, oh, your voice is too loud. Now I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're too this or you're too that. Every single thing that was wrong is what's right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm in it. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. Before I used to be like, God, please get me out of here. Now I'm like, where you want me, bro? I got this.
Amen to that. Sister Magnet, you had your hand up. You want to say something?
Yes. I wanted to say because the fact that we're talking about accepting to come at this time in this time exactly is why I was talking about the ancestry of everything, of time, and the way that our ancestors, they master knowing what time. And we had to go back to I think it's 7 years, no, 7 generation before coming back. There's a whole structure, like a side of life that we have to go through before coming back. So if we understand these things, all the structure, we understand that they mastered it. And like Brother Hibohan was saying, it's not just anybody that can be called ancestor. They had to go through a process of purification
Yeah,
in the life and afterlife to be sitting down in a
yeah,
place,
at the table.
being
Yes,
able to contact you in that realm and
yes,
telling you, well, no, that's not the time to do
yes.
this.
And to
Right?
add to what Sister is saying, the people who are really the healers and the seers of the city, you don't see them during the day. You cannot see them regularly every day. They are basically within their given environment. They chant, and they chant nearly 8 to 10 hours in a day. That's their job, and the community takes care of them.
Wow.
This is how the community they chant. That's what in the evenings when they come out back then, when they come out in the evenings, these old ladies, they're 80 years old, they look like they are 45 years old. They look so beautiful. They come out with white. Back then, having gray, well, everybody aspired to be. I aspired as 2 years old boy to be like that because they came out in a group in the evening at 6 o'clock in the evening, sunset, and they walked together towards the market square, all white. It was the most beautiful thing to see. Today, you look at people, everybody want to dye their hair black to white to black. We've
Wait
lost it
for
because
mine to go all white.
you know, they were so beautiful. They were angelic when they walked past the
I
city. It was
love that.
inspirational to see this. So like the seeds that we plant, the seeds they go underneath the earth. And all the seeds function underneath the earth. There's a network underneath the earth. What we see is the manifestation of the trees outside. Nobody goes down underneath the earth to listen to what the seeds have to say. Hello, seeds, how are you doing today? But the seed has to go through a lot of fight to break through, to come to the surface. And that's the story, So when a person wants to go back to spirit, you're going back to underneath to change things from under. It's a lot of work. There's snow, there's storm, people want to trample upon you, but the seed is always quiet. And the seed is quiet. So many things that was done to us, it was done in quietness. It was done silently. We sometimes come out too much and we say the things we want to do. That's not spiritual strategy. We need to speak in spirit. We need to we need to talk in spirit and be quiet. Because until when the forest is up and strong, then we have a force. But when at the baby stage, if you follow the farmer's creed, they know when to plant, they know how to protect, they know what seed to plant, they know how to cultivate the earth, they know how to groom the earth. They study the seasons to see what time to harvest. And when the fruits come on the tree, nobody goes to the tree to pluck the oranges off until the first rain. After the first rain, then the earth has given us permission to take food to eat. There were so many things that we've lost right now. Nobody did that. The mangoes fall down from the trees by themselves after the first rain. That's telling the people that, we have permission to go eat now. Before that, nobody goes to the tree to pluck that stuff until the first season comes. They were so in tune that they didn't even have to look at the calendar. They just knew. There was no thought in their head. And I'm agreeing with our sister who said most of our ancestors, they manipulated the stars and the astrology. Yes, that's where this virus came into play, because when you are dealing with the energetic, the holistic energy of the spirit, it's one of celebration, liberation, and one of being open-minded. It is not to be used to hurt somebody else. It's to be used for creation, for loving, for pure science, which is our great ancestor, our mother. Our mothers were the seers back then. They knew every leaf and everything it was amazing what they did. So bringing it back to today's now, we don't even have, I work with children for the past 30 years. We don't even have a place where our children can come, like our own place where our children can come and learn our own history. I went to Kanawaki, the Mohawk Nation. They have their own. I went to the Jewish Nation. I worked with them for 25 years. They have their own. I've been to the Italians. They have their own. I've been to the Middle East. They have their own. But every time I look into our own culture, we don't even have our old people's home. And we have 422,000 blacks in Quebec. If everybody was to give $1, $1 each. $1. We used to buy coffee. $1 from every person. That's $422,000 in a month. Calculate that for 3 months. We'll be able to go to the bank and tell the bank, yo, we are here. You know?
Want to own some location. Brother, this is heavy. Sister Megan, I saw your hand is up. And actually, I'm looking at the time. So what we'll do,
Yes.
so we have 10 more minutes. And I love these
Okay.
sessions. This is the ending. This is what it's about. So if we could do another a quick round table, giving our final thoughts about today's session, and then we'll look to close up. So go ahead, Sister Megan.
Okay, yes. Thank you. Yes, I just want to say that we have to be careful not to make the same mistake
Thank
that
you.
those system controlling today. They're still controlling us. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday to Friday or to Sunday, they still, in power. So we have to be careful not to make the same mistake, not understanding how they managed to do it, but they did it following their spirit and their understanding and their feelings, and this is how they built the calendar that is in power today. Is still in power, even though we have our feelings, our thoughts, our wanting to do well. They still have a big amount of control over how the week is going to go. If they tell you Monday you have to go to work, you still have to. And we can develop more maybe next week. I hope so.
I hope so. I feel this is to be continued.
Yes, it's to be continued, but we have to understand that. And the other thing that I wanted to say is, wow, I forgot it. But
We love you too.
yeah, the ancestors that we're talking about, what gave them the capacity to master their time like that is that they really understood nature and they submit to it. They understood that they cannot go out of it. You cannot think bigger than the egg. It's like you're inside a big egg, and that's how the Kemetic knowledge is giving. They are making you understand that you're inside the egg. You cannot try to control whatever is outside of it. If the egg is going to crash on something, you're gonna be affected. So align with it. It's like being in a car, and then the one who's driving is telling you to wear a seatbelt. It's because he knows what's going on, how wild it's going to be out on the road. You don't know. You don't have the big picture. You can imagine.
Right.
You can have your spirit telling you, oh, go left, go right, whatever. Ça, c'est la volonté. You have your will, your own will as a human being. And this is really messy. It can be powerful if you align, with the bigger spirit. But if you don't, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm the master. I can do this, and this is what they did. They said, oh, we're gonna take the time and we're gonna mold it like we want. And now you have Julius calendar, and then you have Gregorian calendar, and then you have December talking about 10, but it's 12. I mean, it's all of that we have to understand what was done, but also, and more important, what they did, because they had the way to master this kind of situation that we're living on Earth. And that's the most interesting part that I want to share with you guys.
Good. Thank you, Queen. And this is definitely going to be continued. So I don't know who wants to go next, either Sister Taja or Brother Ibrahim. Okay, you could go ahead.
Yeah, you can go ahead, brother.
Okay, so we have to. I want to make it clear that this is not coming from a place of hate. Like I'm not coming from a place of hate or being mad that this happened to us and they have a calendar. Actually, I love it because of it, I'm able to express myself, and we are able to in this manner. So we as people must shift consciously from the victim mentality, get out of that nonsense, because we are the race destined on this planet. Even we are the race destined to show what love is truly about. That is our destiny. Not to fight, not, I love the system the way it is. I have lots of friends, just like Pharaoh and our sister, lots of friends who work with. We are here to bring in what the system itself has forgotten how to love. They can't remember. They've gone so deep into their programming that they themselves have become programmed. To come back, they cannot. It is our destiny to love each other, to show the world what love is, which we're people of the sun, the love, the warmth, the vibrant culture, what it is to love. That's our destiny. So we must not come from a victim, have been hurt. If you go into a soccer game, each team must practice. If you don't practice, and you get 5 or 10-0. So it's not a pain. We have to be, we are playing a team sport. So we are bringing a value to the calendar that our sister is talking about. We are bringing our value, like our own value, into that calendar to make our story the right way. So there's no pain, there's no hate. Wherever we are, please, brothers and sisters, generally get out of the victim mentality and see yourself for who you are. Let 2026 be a year that we are here to bring value. We are here to bring wealth, which we have. We are here to bring our numbers, not to scare anybody, but to build. This is what we're doing. So we're not going to follow the mistake of our ancestors, what they did. We're not here to fight. We now understand our force. We are coming with love, creativity, intelligence to make the world a better place. It's not a day's job, but I think we can start it. Thank you. And to find it up, love with all your heart, love God within, and then love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Hey, thank you, brother. Sister Tasha. And then I'll give the final close.
All right. So, my thing to share with you for this 2026 and really for the rest of your life, use the words I am properly.
Yep.
If we're going to fix this thing, we got to start using the words I am properly. Now, here's the thing. I am comes in with he is, she is, they are, we are, you are. So when I speak about anybody on this planet, I speak about them with life, with grace. You understand? What we are is the human race, and we have been divided by so many different labels. We have been divided by our gender, by our background, by what we have in our pocket, by how tall we are, how skinny or fat we are. We've been divided. But those words, I am, make all the difference, because what you say you are, you become, period and point blank. I am that I am.
Yeah.
And so when you say that you are, make sure that you know what you're putting in. But when you say anything about him, her, they, them, you make sure that you also lift them as high as you want to be lifted. Because the only enemies that we have on this planet is the ones that we have made by our own words, by our own divisiveness. And so make sure that when you speak about us in the right way. When I got that vision where God took everything off and showed me that when they talk about the principalities, it is not flesh. So the white man, the black man, the Indian man, the Chinese man, none of this counts, because I can take my heart and put it into any white man. I could put it into a white woman. We all share this. This is all us. This is all of our breath. And when we understand that the principalities is our thoughts and how we've used them against each other and how we've weaponized it with our words, then we'll be able to get back this human race and no longer fight against each other, because that's all we got to do, baby. Just I am and we are.
I am.
Love
I am
you.
his consciousness. I am his consciousness. I
I
agree.
You
love
see what
this.
I'm saying? I
I
am
love this.
and
I
we
love
are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
it. And
I
guys, I'm
take
telling you,
all my stuff off.
yeah,
Yeah.
as we've been talking, and it's like anybody, I've been taking notes because this is something we're a part of it, but we're like Brother Ibrahim said, it's something that we're able to learn from together, and that's the whole purpose. And it's funny because the words that you're closing with, that you're just closing with, in terms of reminding us of our human connection, that's been the biggest thing. I kept making different notes about that. It really comes back down to the fact that somewhere along the lines we forgot that we are a human species first, despite the casing that we're in, white, black, brown. We are a human species. And just to bring it to another point, and I'll close on this, it's we have to understand that the powers that were that inhabited this planet, they're not of the same human species as we are, but we have a certain nature as human beings that they were able to understand and manipulate. It's hence why what they're doing, because they know we're loving beings. They know we're connected. They know we thrive in our connections. So anybody who's coming to invade or to take over or to try to manipulate, they're going to look and say, okay, you know what? We understand what their nature are. We understand their strength. If they're strong together, we're going to find every reason possible to divide them. And so now, if we could now take a step back and look at that and understand that, wait a second, there is a play here. There's a power that we might not even fully grasp or understand, but for some reason there is something that's working towards our division. Our responsibility is to work towards our connection. So it is really to find our similarities as a human species, and understanding that the guiding force is love, and what we are is a human race that wants to just stick together, and we thrive in our unity. So that's really it. I'm really excited. This has been another amazing House of OFC session. Always grateful to life, always grateful to God, our creator, and our ancestors for creating these opportunities. I'm looking forward to next week, just continuing in this discussion. Again, everybody who participated, I appreciate you guys. Thank you all. I don't know if you guys, before we just close up, if you guys could just share your contact information again for people who want to connect with you on a one-on-one. Sister Maginit, you could go ahead, just remind people again how to reach you, and Brother Ibrahim and Sister Tasha. Oh, you're on mute, Queen.
Yes, sorry again. Yes, for holistic beauty consultation, follow-up, coaching sessions, therapeutic hair, beauty products, healing herbs, and access to priest from West Africa, reach me at neferandwellness9@gmail.com. For hair appointment, coiffure, magic hands @gmail.com.
Amazing. Thank you, Queen. Brother Ibrahim.
If you have connections, we're in support of entrepreneurs that make the world a better place. So if you're looking at building your team, realizing your vision, bringing your inspiring story to the spotlight, working with the neurodiverse population, you can reach me at connections.gate@gmail.com, or you can reach me at MTL at Gmail, Autism Montreal, Autism Community Lions Club at gmail.com. Or you can go back to OFC, to Pharaoh. If you talk to Pharaoh,
Yeah,
you
you
talk to
know
me.
it.
You talk to me, basically. And yeah.
Amazing. Good. Sister Taj, you can go ahead, Queen.
Yes, sir. You guys can find me on everything Taja Love Oracle on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, on everything. That's where I go by. And so, look, if you're looking for a way to lift the veil of your life, get yourself back in tune with who you are, and release all the garbage, all the stuff that you've stored up from family, friends, and even ancestors, give me a call, shoot me a text, and we will get you back onto the plane of understanding that you are a spiritual being having a human existence and not the other way around. Give you your power back, because that's what this whole OFC is about. This is what all of us is about. And this is what my mission in this life is, to make you understand that you were perfect, just accepting imperfections. Thank you.
Hey, amen to that. And you guys already know you could always check out ofccommunity.com. You can get all our contacts on there. Just go into the directory, punch in our names. You can find everybody on there. So it's ofccommunity.com. Call, text, or WhatsApp 514-651-4545. Again, I love you all. Thank you all for participating with us again today, and looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Same time, same place for the House of OFC. Peace and blessings.